It's Thursday, the 29th of August, 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Adam Lang.
Good morning, Michael.
Adam, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's get cracking. Story number 1, inflation is continuing its slowdown, with the monthly headline consumer price index dropping to 3.5% in the year to July. This has been a much anticipated measure where everyone's watching it very closely, given many other countries are looking at rate cuts.
That's right, Michael. In June, it was at 3.8%, but now at 3.5%, that's in the year to July, it is heading in the right direction. However, it still was a bit higher than the market consensus of 3.4%. Housing, food and non-alcoholic beverages, clothing and footwear, and alcohol and tobacco were the most important contributors. Fruit and vegetables were up, while housing and related expenses were a significant contributor, even though the government's electricity subsidies did help those. Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers said progress in the fight against inflation is welcome. This is the final monthly data before the Reserve Bank meets in late September, though most economists have not changed their expectations for rates based on this new data. February 2025 remains the date most expect the central bank to cut interest rates. Of course, the RBA will look through the headline data to instead focus on underlying inflation, which strips out the one-off government support and some subsidies.
Yeah, Adam, clearly there's a lot of people under a lot of pressure, and it must be hitting the retail sector hard.
Definitely is, Michael. Deloitte Access Economics actually published a report late last night that now estimates Australia has been in a retail recession for 18 months. From now until Christmas, it's probably going to be brutal for shop owners and the retail market.
Yeah, I suspect you might be right. On to story number 2 now. Nine Entertainment's profits plummeted 22% to $216.4 million, with revenues down 3% amid a weak television advertising market. Almost a third of Nine's revenue is now coming from subscriptions and licensing, when excluding property listing site domains, so advertising remains a crucial component.
Yeah, it does, Michael. And for its part, Nine thinks the TV market will experience a positive trend going forward, with the Paris 2024 Olympic Games putting a bit of wind back in its sails. That has largely been behind a 10% lift, but without these games, it would have been looking at a low to mid single-digit decline. Nine is cutting back $100 million from its cost base over the 2024 and 2025 financial years. A fully franked dividend of 4.5 cents a share has been announced, and that is 8.5 cents for the full year.
Number 3, grocery giant Woolworths' net profit fell 0.6% over the last financial year, though sales increased 5.6%, with the Australian supermarket sector behind most of the increase. The New Zealand supermarkets dragged down the overall result with a $1.5 billion impairment.
Yeah, they did, Michael. And CEO Brad Banducci, who is due to finish in the role next month, said sales for the first 2 months of the current financial year were up 3%. Now, some of that is due to modest price increases. Prices are still going up rather than going down at big grocery stores, but there's also some growth in terms of item sales. By comparison, Coles estimated a 3.7% lift for the same period. Big W, which Woolworths owns, is having less success with flat sales and discounting needed to attract customers to spend.
Story number 4, looking overseas, China's biggest retailer, JD.com, is planning to buy back up to $5 billion worth of its own shares amid major concerns about a decline in consumer purchasing.
Yeah, Michael, JD.com is a massive retailer and it pushed well through its June quarter profit estimates, but it has been struggling with investor fears about the local retail market, particularly after rival Temu was a big miss on revenue expectations. This marks its second share buyback for 2024, having gone through a US $3 billion round previously announced in March. And it's a theme we're seeing from big digital retailers in the region. If you cast your mind back to February, you'll remember that Alibaba announced a US $25 billion share buyback. And we've been talking plenty on Fear Agreed about the slowdown in China, which has included a lot of upheaval in the sluggish property market. JD.com will continue to be a litmus test of that market, with Walmart selling off its multi-billion-dollar holding in the business earlier in August to pursue its own interests in China.
Last one, Adam, story number 5. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is in Germany in a bid to, in his words, reset relations across the region and turn a corner on Brexit.
Yeah, Michael, Brexit. What Brexit? Keir Starmer is visiting Germany to start talks on a new cooperation treaty. The agreement is expected to cover energy security, technology, science and trade opportunities, including improving market access. However, the treaty might not come about until early 2025, so it's still very early in the discussions, and that is despite a defence agreement already being negotiated and due to be finalised in the next few months. Keir Starmer is then heading to Paris to talk to French President Emmanuel Macron. This is all part of his attempt to get trading with his neighbours again. If he pulls it off, benefits are expected for a range of industries, including the arts scene. British Labor is trying to reduce border checks on food products, but is also trying to reduce paperwork for artists on tour and make it easier for citizens to access specific jobs. As an aside, it's pretty good timing for his Parisian adventures, as the BBC reports that he'll get to attend the opening ceremony of the Paralympics while he's there.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Michael.
It is Thursday, the 29th of August, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.